Imagine this, it's June 23rd, 1991. New game for the Sega Genesis released. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sega's answer to Nintendo's Super Mario. The huge success this game was, selling over 15 million copies. The sequel was definitely in the works. But to learn about it, we have to go back to the time when Sega was struggling to stay afloat in the evolving gaming market. Let's get into it. In 1988, Sega released the Sega Genesis to compete with Nintendo. Problem was they didn't have a character as popular as the gaming giant himself, Mario. Sega's attempt with Alex Kidd for the Sega Master System failed to catch on. In the 1990s, Yuji Naka alongside Nato Nishimura and Hirokazu Yasuhara set out to create a game based on a one-animal character. Sonic the Hedgehog was originally conceived as a rabbit, but was changed to the Hedgehog we all know today. News development began in early 1992, beginning with Sega of America's CEO, Mark Cerny, pitching a sequel for the game in September of 1981. But Sega ultimately passed on it, thinking it was too soon. Also, Yuji Naka left Sega after falling out with the Japan branch's staff over his salary, being unsatisfied over the first game's development time and lacking support from the management. Mark Cerny said he was unsurprised by the marketing team's choice, saying that they did not understand the process and have their division, Sega Technical Institute, explore more idea concepts. However, in November 1991, Sega changed their mind and put the team on a tight deadline for November of 1992 to receive holiday sales. Now on a 9-month schedule deadline, Mark Cerny went to Japan, visited Naka's apartment to fix things up. Thankfully, Yuji Naka agreed and came back to work on the sequel. For its time, sequels were not well regarded, so the team did whatever they could to improve upon the first, such as making Sonic faster. So they wanted there to be a cap meter for his speed, but removed it. Here's something funny. Hirokazu Yasuhara thought they had 2 years of development time. No one told them they didn't even have half that much time. CC wanted the game to be ambitious. Speed of development, they put up an ad in the newspaper saying, quote, "Want a video game as an artist, no experience necessary." Interface became pouring in. They chose Brenda Cook, Tom Payne, Craig Stitt, who would go on to make Spyro the Dragon. During the game's development, Yuji Naka requested to have a 2-player mode. Sega then held an internal contest to choose this partner. Craig Stitt suggested a turtle for Sonic to ride named Boomer. However, Sushi Yamagachi wanted with his 2-tailed fox, Mile. The name miles per hour was suggested by Brenda Cook due to being a pun on miles per hour. until eventually becoming miles tails per hour. The game used to the first as a building ground, and as seen as Sandwich, it's very corrupted. He wanted to create 18 zones for the game and have a time travel mechanic. Believe it or not, the time travel mechanic from Sonic 2D was meant to be in Sonic 2. Quickly scrapped it, telling the last thing they couldn't finish it on time. The game's plot, the Mega Man would have ruled the world with Sonic and Tails having to go back in time to restore the world back to normal. One of our most infamous scrap levels was Hidden Palace, meant to be where Sonic became Super Sonic. So it got very far to the point where it actually had fully original music. This allowed it to return in Christian Head's 2013 mobile port. The game was to the point where the credits were misplaced, leading to the developers being put in the wrong positions of the roles. Development was very complicated due to most of the developers being familiar with the Japanese language, causing issues with its overseas branch. This is due to the fact that both the American and Japanese teams had different work ethics, with some even sleeping in cubicles and the American branch was on their own. Also, from the game's marketing director stated the reason why a lot of stuff was scrapped was due to the hardware and time constraints. So on the list was Wood Zone. Some concept art, it's called Secret Jungle, but it's unconfirmed if they're the same level. What was on this level though? The game had 5 timelines with them being now and now 2, etc. So the values of the plot was gone, hence would have led, according to Sonic Retro quote, 1. The person of Town had 5 zones. 2. They traveled to the past, they had 1 zone. 3. Sonic Tails was taking the Death Egg. 4. They returned out of home without ruins. 6. Eggman escaped from the time warp passage being destroyed. 7. Another one of would have been discovered possibly in Palace and 3 zones. 8. Back to the past. 9. Volcano eruption. 10. There were 2 zones with Blue Highland. Your path is blocked by the lava. 12. You return. 13. There was a large city with 3 zones. 14. Yet again, the Death Egg escaped with Sonic and Tails probably for heading past to stop them. 15. The Death Egg would have fallen down, got buried, and nearly used the gate to save the world. The end. Now it has clearly stated 5 zones, including Emerald Hill Zone, not Green Hill Zone, Ocean Wind Zone, Wood Zone, Desert Zone, and Metropolis Zone. Past, and at ancient time would have included Tropical Sun, known concept art as Tropical Plant Zone, Blue Ocean, known concept art as Blue Lake Zone, and 3 in the Hilltop Zone. There are 2 other zones called Olympus and Rock World Zone, which we'll get into later. Olympus has no concept art available, and it's likely none was made. Now 2 had Dust Hill Zone, Royal Ocean Zone, and again Rock World Zone. Eggman would have escaped, and supposedly the Death Egg would have been as well, which is possibly where it escaped in. Also, been an earthquake which possibly caused a tsunami, or as earthquakes near islands cause tsunamis, but I'm not sure how this affected the past though. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Different ancient time, the island would have been halfway underwater, possibly from the tsunami. This time I had Hilltop Zone in blue, like I previously mentioned Lake Zone. The island was completely industrialized by Dr. Eggman, and this version of the timeline had Casino Night Zone, which looks very different. Chemical Plant Zone, and do I have to say this? Fine. Genocide City Zone, and yes, I'm being serious, that's its name. This was born from the Japanese team was actually fully aware of the meaning of that word. And it was changed to Cyber City Zone, and thank goodness. This level is present in the game's prototypes, but unfortunately it's empty. However, we actually know a lot about it. Our this level was uncovered by the Video Game History Foundation, who were dedicated to preserving game media and history. And so they pieced together a comic for this level.
Let me stress, this is not the fully intact level. This is a partial reconstruction. And it required some guesswork because there's still a lot we don't know. We have no concept, for example, of what enemies might have popped.
This level, and it realized as a perfect reskin of Metropolis Zone. This game's marketing was very intense. Also, a level called Sand Shower Zone, which if I'm wrong, is possibly Dust Hill Zone. So it's interesting is that Rock World Zone is a Christmas and Sunday version of this level. Also, it's also likely shown in the 1994 MTV show Rock the Rock, because while putting on Knuckles, they showed a picture of what it has on the level with the SIS documentary by Brenda, which features an animation for Wood Zone and more. promote the game, Sega went up with a prototype that we played on a popular show, Nick Arcade, which aired on the network Nickelodeon. The prototype was leaked in 2006 by someone named Drix, and fans have dubbed it the Nick Arcade prototype. February 24th, 1992, Studio Date, the world was blessed with a long-awaited sequel with a being shown at the launch party held at Toys R Us in New York Times Square, being played by famous actors including Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who worked on Home Improvement, Dustin Diamond, who worked on Saved by the Bell. With it being released on Tuesday, the marketing campaign was called Sonic Tuesday. That's all to this video. Huge thanks to Sega Return and everyone who worked on this game because it can't be preserved. Please like, comment, and subscribe.